everyone. Today I'm listening to Bob Marley and the Wailers. Well, actually, I am somehow familiar with this name, Bob Marley. I know the name, and I know that I think he's a Jamaican singer. Isn't he kind of an icon? Well, you see, I've been to Jamaica a couple times, and you go to Jamaica, you can't escape their cultural pride. So I know two names associated with Jamaica. There's Bob Marley and there's Usain Bolt. Now, I've never actually watched Usain Bolt run, and I've never known myself to have listened to Bob Marley, although, of course, being in Jamaica, you hear all kinds of music coming from all kinds of places. That's just the nature of the place. So it's possible I've heard Bob Marley somewhere along the way, or at least some snippet of something he's done, and simply don't know it. At least can't identify it as him. Anyway, so today is my first time intentionally sitting down and paying attention and listening to Bob Marley and knowing that it's Bob Marley. And the song is I Shot the Sheriff. Well, that sounds like... Actually, okay, somehow that sounds like it could totally be an American title. But okay, let's do a bit of reading and then I'll listen. Robert Nesta Marley was a Jamaican reggae singer, guitarist, and songwriter. Considered one of the pioneers of the genre, he fused elements of reggae, ska, and rocksteady, and was renowned for his distinctive vocal and songwriting style. He became known as a Rastafarian icon. Well, there's that whole culture in Jamaica as well, and he infused his music with a sense of spirituality. Marley is also considered a global symbol of Jamaican music and culture and identity, and was controversial in his outspoken support for democratic social reforms. Marley ranks as one of the best-selling music artists of all time, with estimated sales of more than 75 million records worldwide. He was posthumously honored by Jamaica soon after his death with a designated Order of Merit by his nation. In 1994, Marley was posthumously inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Rolling Stone ranked him number 11 on its list of the 100 greatest artists of all time. Well, that's pretty significant. And number 98 on its list of the 200 greatest singers of all time. His other achievements include a Grammy Lifetime Achievement Award, a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, and induction into the Black Music and Entertainment Walk of Fame. I Shot the Sheriff was first released in 1973 on the Wailers album Burnin'. Marley explained his intention as follows. I want to say I shot the police, but the government would have made a fuss, so I said I shot the sheriff instead. But it's the same idea, justice. Really? I shot the police is a problem, but I shot the sheriff? Okay, well, it puts two things in mind. It could either be something Wild West style, or it could be something kind of down south, homegrown justice style. And either way, I shot the sheriff sounds like trouble to me.
I shot the sheriff, but I didn't shoot no deputy. Oh no, oh. I shot the sheriff, but I didn't shoot no deputy. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Yeah. All around in my hometown, they're trying to track me down. Yeah. They say they want to bring me in guilty for the killing of a deputy, for the life of a deputy. But I say,
Okay, so this idea, I shot the sheriff, but I didn't shoot no deputy. I got the idea, the first line. Oops, he should have shot the deputy too, like, maybe if I finished the job, I wouldn't be in the trouble I'm in, but now it's taking a different turn of events here. Funny sound at the beginning. Well, okay, I hear the Jamaican influence, but the voices are very different than what I expected. And before we get too far into it, I want to go back and listen to this opening.
I shot the sheriff, but I didn't
this simply octave chorus. It's not really even harmonized, it's just at the octave. But I didn't shoot no deputy. Gives it a sort of strange, a strange quality to it.
I didn't shoot no deputy. Oh no, oh.
A little harmony there.
I shot the sheriff, but I didn't shoot no deputy.
Octaves.
Ooh, ooh, ooh. Yeah.
Kind of a sort of thin harmony feeling, sparse, spare, I could even say weak. It has a feeling of weakness to it, or unconvincing quality. Well, okay, getting into the story, that might have some relevance, but it's an interesting way to start a piece.
Deputy. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Yeah. All around in my hometown,
So
they're trying to track me down. Yeah. They say they want to bring me in guilty for the killing of a deputy, for the life of a deputy. But I say,
more octaves.
oh, I shot the sheriff, but I swear it wasn't self-defense. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Yeah, I said I shot the sheriff, oh Lord, and they say there's a capital offense. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Yeah, yeah. Sheriff John Brown always hated me. For what? I don't know. Every time I plant a seed, he said kill it before it grows. He said kill them before they grow. And
Okay, so one thing I know about Jamaica is that, well, ganja, as they call it, it's what is it? It's legal to grow up to 6 plants, in without getting in trouble. I wonder if this every time I plant a seed has some reference to that.
he said kill it before it grows. He said kill them before they grow. And so read it in the news. I shot the sheriff, but I swear it wasn't self-defense. Where was the deputy?
But I swear it wasn't self-defense. so small. Like, I feel like a very small person right now. I swear it wasn't self-defense.
Read it in the news. I shot the sheriff, but I swear it wasn't self-defense. Where was the deputy? I say I shot the sheriff, but I swear it was in self-defense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Freedom came my way one day, and I started out of town, yeah. All of a sudden, I saw Sheriff John Brown came in to shoot me down. So I shot him down, and I said, if I am guilty, I will pay. I shot the sheriff, but I say, but I didn't shoot no deputy. I didn't shoot no deputy. I shot the sheriff, but I didn't shoot no deputy. Oh, ooh, ooh, ooh. Yeah. Reflexes are the better of me. And what is to be must be. Every day the bucket I go a well.
This is bringing back so many memories of just the everyday language and experience and feel when I visited there. The accent so clear in here, and the sort of belaboring of some of the words, taking a lot of extra time on some of the syllables, spreading it out. That's a bit more than you hear in the, well, okay, they have this way of speaking, which is actually, I think it's even considered a dialect, where everything is shortened, and so it's a patois, and it's shortened to the uninitiated, it is almost impossible to follow. But when they speak in actual English, many of them do have this way of really stating each syllable very clearly with a little more, I don't know if I would say weight, a little bit more emphasis on each syllable than here in America or even in the UK. But this is an exaggeration, but it's kind of, I'm listening to this. It's a little bit of a different sound than I expected, actually. It's lighter. It's a lot more higher pitched than I expected. He has a very colorful voice, but all of this soprano way up here, all of this, it's portraying, it's creating a picture of a sort of a simple person who somehow always seems to get in trouble no matter how hard they try. And well, I shot the sheriff. Now I'm in trouble for shooting the deputy. But I didn't shoot the deputy. I swear, I didn't shoot the deputy. I'll tell you, I shot the sheriff, man. I shot the sheriff. Because I did it in self-defense. Well, for what it's worth. That's kind of a problem still. To me, as an American, this line, I shot the sheriff, but I didn't shoot no deputy, is so loaded and full of implications. And to me, if he had said, I shot the police, I can't imagine how it would end up being so colorful as this. So I guess from my perspective, from my American perspective, I like that he chose, I shot the sheriff. Because then he could say, I didn't shoot no deputy. How are you going to do that if you just shot the police? Anyway, it's a fun thing to play around with, but these really high-pitched lines, they do give the feeling of, okay, I did something rashly, or at least, I didn't think it through very well. I shot the sheriff, now I'm in trouble. They say I shot the deputy. Makes me wonder, who shot the deputy, really? If he's the sort of person who comes right out and admits to the crimes he actually has committed, who did shoot the deputy? Was it the sheriff? Was it somebody else? I don't know. Anyway, my point is, I feel a sort of trepidation in this song. A sort of, I know I'm in trouble feeling. And there's not really much I can do about it. I can just sit here and shiver and wait for the consequences because I shot the sheriff. I didn't shoot the deputy, but I shot the sheriff, and I know it's going to come to me for my crimes, but please don't put more on me than I actually earned myself. But there's this sort of shivering trepidation, waiting for justice to land on, waiting for the law to land on you. Whether it's just or not, that's another question.
One day the bottom of the drop out,
What a listening experience that was. Well, I want to back up a little bit and listen to a portion of it again. Probably not the whole piece because it's fairly consistent throughout, so we don't need to go through the whole piece. But I want to comment on some of the musical details that have stood out to me in this piece of music. And okay, let's just say, let's go about here. That should cover a good amount of what's in the music. So first of all, as I was listening, I was thinking, okay, I hear the bass clearly, and I hear the percussion clearly. I hear the organ clearly. I hear a bit of piano. And I hear something else. But is that guitar or is that, I don't know what, but it doesn't have the standard electric guitar sound that I associate with the instrument. It's one of the things that I would say if I'm summing up the texture, the feel of this music, is that it's very non-legato, but even more than that, the instrumental accompaniment is very light, a bit like raindrops, just sprinkling of raindrops, pitter patter pitter, kind of raindrops on a tin roof, perhaps, just a few, and it's that sort of, when they strike, you feel it and you hear it, you feel it, it is very present. But it is not something that has any level of sustain at all. Well, except for the organ. Even that is kind of light-fingered. So let's notice that as we're going through this bit.
Every day, the bucket I go a well.
So
One day,
there's this sort of wee 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 wee. Is that guitar or is that something else? I don't know, but it's the closest thing to guitar that I can find in this music, and if it is guitar, I find it very interesting that is the guitar sound, but the bass is probably the fullest, most present. And if I were going to say what the most crucial elements of the piece were, of course, it has to be the voice, first of all. You could even sing this a cappella, and it would have a lot of its character still. Or I should say, he could sing this a cappella. If another instrument had to be added, you could choose between bass and percussion, I think. They're both pretty equally important. The bass adds that character to balance out the voice, which is kind of a strident, colorful, not nasally, but reedy voice. And then you have the percussion, which gives it its real Jamaican feel. Just, and so I don't know if I could choose between percussion and bass as one being more important than the other. Either one would enhance the flavor of an a cappella version of it significantly.
every day, the bucket I go a well. One day, the bucket
And you can hear-
drop out.
You can hear the organ in the background as well, kind of wheezing away, squeaking away like an asthmatic, can't really get a full voice, but it goes so great behind his voice. And that sort of squeaky, struggling for air sound adds just enough. Well, it's where we get as much harmonic fill as we're going to find in this piece. Well, the piano also, but the organ gives the most sustained harmonic fill that we're going to get here. And it has, if I were going to give it a little more complimentary description than the asthmatic description, I would say it's like the rough edge of a piece of grass. That sort of raspy, thin sound, but it gives a great background. Or maybe you could say it's like a drawing where the background is filled in with ballpoint pen just scribbled back and forth to give a bit of texture in the background. And that puts the voice very nicely in front. It adds a bit of depth to it, perspective, we could say. Because if you're going to have a pen drawing without any background texture, okay, nice. You add some background texture, suddenly it pops out a bit, and that is nice. And then this piano. If you could get any more non-legato, any more staccato than this for piano chords, just scattered, sprinkled here and there. Again, like a few raindrops falling on a tin roof, or in the bottom of a tin bucket. And doesn't this percussion, I hear some regular drum sounds, but doesn't the percussion also have some sounds of the native Jamaican percussion traditions? There's that sort of tin bucket sound. Well, if you've ever been there, there's so much that of the Jamaican feel in this piece. The landscape, the buildings, the little dwellings, everything, that there's this texture. Well, and I have to clarify, I didn't go to a resort or one of those touristic spots. I was inland in the real Jamaica, as they like to say. And so I got to feel what it was like to be there. And to me, this is such a great depiction of that feel.
Every day, the bucket I go a well. One day, the bottom of the drop out. One day,
And this
bottom
squeaky
of the
little organ.
drop out. I say,
Here, this. So, I commented on the octave harmonization of the voices at the beginning. And while we do have this kind of sonic accompaniment fill, which goes all the way from the fat dancing bass up through the squeaky reedy organ at the top and everything else, a lot actually texturally happening, which and dimensionally, height-wise, bottom to top, front to back, we feel a multi-dimensional image developing here. But at the same time, it is harmonically sparse. There is not a lot of harmonic fill to the piece, which this octave section really brings out strongly. Because imagine if these octave lines were sung in a more harmonically filled out manner. It would be thicker, richer, we could even say more colorful, although it's so colorful that the fact that it doesn't have harmonic fill is the colorful element of it. It's the thing that kind of lines it out and says, pay attention here. And that is another significant stylistic musical feature of the piece, is this harmonic sparseness. And then we're back to and the voice again. I would have to listen to some more Bob Marley and some more of this type of music to really start saying exactly how much of it is specific to this song and how much of it is stylistically identifiable. But I do have to say that this has got the Jamaican feel to it, and I like that. Well, I'm a bit torn because, as I said, it feels like story-wise, it could be such an American story to me. But at the same time, the texture, the feel, the music of it sets it somewhere else. Sets it, to me, so specifically in Jamaica. And so how do I settle the two? I guess I just have to allow the fact that okay, it's Jamaican. It is Jamaican. It's so clearly Jamaican. And this whole, I shot the sheriff, but I didn't shoot no deputy. Let's assume that there are such things in Jamaica, and then it makes sense, right? What a fun, kind of cute little piece. But it does have a real punch as far as justice goes, and the idea of what is justice, without really coming out and saying it. It just tells a story of a simple little person who shot the sheriff. So that was my first exposure to Bob Marley and the Wailers. I guess I understand now why they call themselves the Wailers. You could say that it has a little bit of a wailing sound to it. And I'll have to listen to some more of it, get a little more familiar with the style along the way. But there's always a first, and this was it. A lot of fun. I'll see you soon.